Two teams just about a 3.5-hour drive from each other on Florida's I-75. The Jags and Bucks are underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick back in April, the rookie from Clemson, Trevor Lawrence.
The word is potential, potential, potential. Think about this guy from the time he was in high school. One of the top prospects going to college, coming out of college, mentioned as a generational type quarterback. He looks the part. Tall, big arm, surveys the field, and can take off and run when under duress.
Here's Lawrence. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage, and that's exactly what he got done there. Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Throwing again on second down. Lawrence. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. And Ndamukong Suh with a sack. We've seen that a ton since he entered the league in 2010. On third down, Lawrence. Out to the flat for Hyde. Ouch, you thought you had the defensive stand. Roughing the passer wipes it out.
What does every defense talk about? 3 and out, right? Thought they were able to get off the field. Not so.
Lawrence with the handoff to Robinson. And he stopped immediately there. Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I don't see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Now Lawrence. This is going to be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. And he'll go out of bounds after getting this across the 15. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
Brady and the Bucs now with a 1st and 10
at their own 17-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Brady. And first hook up with his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
Normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends.
Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other, and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision.
And he's got Gronkowski. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Rob Gronkowski. There. Bucks have taken a first-quarter lead. And now Coach Bruce Arians has made the call. His guys will go for 2. Brady's going to look to throw. And he's got it here for the 2 points, but there is a marker down, so we'll have to see what that's about. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Now Lawrence. The catch made by James O'Shaughnessy, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
To throw again on 2nd down. Lawrence forced out to his left. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49. A gain of just 2. Lawrence on 3rd down. Oh, they would have gotten a conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And got his man complete. The 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Tom Brady with 2 first-quarter touchdown passes. And the Bucs get the quick strike touchdown.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Brady will look to throw for it. And they're going to get it. That one's caught. And now the lead moves to 16-0.
I think we're sensing a trend here. 2 first-half touchdowns. After going for 2 after the first score, CD, I thought maybe they would kick the PAT here. No, they get 2 more.
No, they decided to really press the advantage because, remember, getting the 2 after the first score, you've already got the other team back on their heels if they're going to mount a comeback. But to go up 2 scores and 2 two-point conversions, you've really got them thinking on the other sideline.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Jacksonville set to go again offensively.
They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
On 2nd and 10, Lawrence finds the open target, Arnold. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Now Lawrence wants to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Buccaneers have it. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Brady's throw complete here, pulled in by Brate. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Now Brady. And in for the Buccaneers, touchdown. Tom Brady to his old Patriot pal Rob Gronkowski as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it, it's scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over it.
Thorough domination right now, and the game plan is simple, obviously, Charles. They're going for 2 after every touchdown, and it's 24-0.
Don't you just get the sense right now that they're just flexing? I mean, you'd be able to do whatever they want, how they want, 3 two-point conversions. And now they're up 24-0. So essentially they gained a field goal out of it without even trotting the kicker out there.
They'll throw on first down with Lawrence. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Well, so far on this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Lawrence. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. We always hear a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure at him at all times because you don't know how he's going to hold up. He was fortunate there. Luck was on his side, able to recover that fumble.
A good head down running on the return gets about 15 yards. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
And that pass puts him up over 200 yards already here in the first.
And what it also does is it allows the offensive coordinator to be not selective anymore, but a little looser, right? You're feeling good about things. Accurate, balls being completed, yardage is being gained. Go ahead and keep taking shots. The whole team has confidence now.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Brady. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quick.
Touchdown! That's caught. The 4th touchdown pass of the game for Tom Brady. And this Buccaneer offense is running away with this one.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury. And it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. He finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
And he's got it here for the 2 points, but there is a marker down, so we'll have to see what that's about. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Lawrence to throw. And this one to Treadwell, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. It's a throw again as Lawrence eluding the pressure. And the ball is knocked out. And the Buccaneers have it. This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a second one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Brady. Airing this one out for Evans. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. 5 touchdown passes now for Tom Brady. And the Bucs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And now Coach Bruce Arians has made the call. His guys will go for 2. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. Well, not sure about the need to go for 2, but they get it and extend this lead out even further. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, if they're out there, we'll see if they can pick those things back up. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They'll run here with Robinson. And he'll be brought down right around the 30.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. It was Jason Pierre-Paul who was able to get him down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They run. Robinson. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. Tom Brady leads the offense out for their next possession. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love him.
He's got him in, complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Scotty Miller, 78 yards. And the Buccaneers are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
He hits the big target for the two-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great...
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Looking to throw again on second down. Lawrence.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Lawrence going to throw again. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and it'll bring up third down.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass. Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's fourth down. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on for the fifth time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the second quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a...
And now off to the races, down the right side.
If you were me,
in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Scotty Miller. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And this Buccaneer offense, they're running away with this one. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And he's got it here for the 2 points, but there is a marker down, so we'll have to see what that's about. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars getting set to go. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win. Scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll run it now with Robinson. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Lawrence will throw. He completes it to Treadwell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
On first down, Robinson. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down. Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And the Bucs are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know.
And it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown. Scotty Miller on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bucs offense continuing to pour it on.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a
said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the two-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on two-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a two-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is point two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Arnold.
It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Lawrence. Flush to his right. Finding some room at midfield. And Lawrence going to smartly hit the deck here as he is able to pick up the first down in the process. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
In on the stop, Kevin Minter. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And now they'll throw it with Lawrence. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
I know we're just in the second quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's a second drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
What's the deal, y'all?
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty is a result of that hit there.
On first down, Lawrence dancing to his left. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
On second down, it's Robinson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. This from 36 yards out. And his kick here is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Taken in at the 3. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Now this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. Defense blitzed, but they picked it up pretty well.
Allowed their man to stand firm in the pocket and not be hurried, didn't it? That allowed him to make the nice throw downfield to help complete that play.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Brady now to throw. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Cameron Brate with his second touchdown here in this first half. And this Buccaneer offense is running away with this one.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
And now Coach Bruce Arians has made the call. His guys will go for two. They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it here for the 2 points, but there is a marker down, so we'll have to see what that's about. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over.
It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
2nd and 9. From the gun, Lawrence. It's caught by Treadwell. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. From the shotgun, Lawrence. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it past the 20. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD.
That pick six extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out and start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
And he's got it here for the 2 points, but there is a marker down, so we'll have to see what that's about. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. Throwing after the interception. Lawrence. He finds his man complete. That's Arnold. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. So that one. Will be accepted. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. Now Lawrence on first down. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense. They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
This is taken at the 15. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Tampa Bay offense and Ronald Jones leading him out. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete.
Touchdown.
Scotty Miller on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And this Buccaneer offense, they're running away with this one.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
So they're able to... for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense. That's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Throwing again on 2nd down. Lawrence. He dumps it to Hyde. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Again, it's Lawrence. And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. The final shot before half for Brady. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our And just like that, on we head to half number 2. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second. half is underway. Taken in at the 3. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start the third quarter. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel...
This is caught inside the 15. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Mike Evans, 66 yards. And the Bucs offense continuing to pour it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll run again here with Robinson. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Looking downfield for Jones. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And the Buccaneers are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the...
That's caught inside the 20. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. And big play, Brady to Gronkowski, 49 yards.
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable.
Touchdown! Tom Brady to his old Patriot pal, Rob Gronkowski. And the interception by the Bucs D leads to a touchdown. It's been quite the game for him individually. A trio of touchdown catches now.
So pick a route, any route. Whatever you want him to run, he's going to do it and do it well and end up in the end zone. This has really been fun to watch.
And he's got it. They add on more. Salt in the wound. Two-point conversion makes this lead even bigger.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception. Are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence again. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. And that is incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Mike Evans in the Tampa offense about to set up shop. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way?
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Scotty Miller, 47 yards. And the Buccaneers get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell, but now it'll be third down. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. He'll fight his man, Laviska Shenault. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Buccaneers have it.
Brandon, that's the third time he's fumbled so far in this game. And, you know, you can make excuses for each and every one of them. But the bottom line is he's got to take care of it better. And now that he's shown a propensity for fumbling it, just think about what the defenders are trying to do.
Yeah, well, guys hate one fumble, twos, oh, my goodness, 3 or more. Wow.
Just doesn't make any sense, does it? But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and trying not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
They'll let this go for the end zone. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And break, the tight end's got it. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
They've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. And that will be incomplete. Jordan Whitehead there defensively. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. Yeah, yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. Yeah, not a great one there. Out of bounds in the air. And the offense is going to be set up already in enemy territory inside the 45. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material. I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Finally a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Brady going to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
They'll go for it. It's Brady. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the 1st down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down. To throw is Brady. Wide open, Gronkowski. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Rob Gronkowski, 32 yards. And this Buccaneer offense is running away with this one.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
And this is going to be caught. Well, not sure about the need to go for 2, but they get it. And it extend this lead out even further. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Jaguars again ready to take over on offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Lawrence. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
So a change of possession here on the punt. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. A monster game so far, third quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback.
And got his man complete. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. A big play that time for Tampa Bay.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. Now Brady. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
On second and goal, Brady. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A good display of power, but ultimately it gets him just inside the 5 to the 4 and no further. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to third and goal. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead. Even bigger. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Jags. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else. Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the run, it's Robinson. No gain on the play there, second down. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Lawrence. And his throw is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. William Golston gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And We shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
He's got him in. Complete. Touchdown. Rob Gronkowski, 68 yards. And this Buccaneer offense, they're running away with this one. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Jaguars offense ready to set up shop here again. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
We've seen the pressure get to him several times in this game. There, though, we see him escaping.
And we've seen this rookie video before as well. That type of pressure, oftentimes, what do you resort to? Your legs, try and escape. What you hope is that this doesn't become habit for him, that he learns how to handle the pressure, still keep his eyes downfield, and make some throws. That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw here into the hands of Jones.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Now Lawrence, and this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Throwing again here, it's Lawrence.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Now Lawrence.
The left side completion to Jones.
And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Back to throw again. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Now Lawrence to throw.
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. William Golston able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here. Down the numbers. There he goes. The 30.
Oh, boy, you ain't got no feet.
10, 5, and he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great play there. 70 yards. And the Bucs offense continuing to pour it on.
So a pretty wild turn of events there. Instead of a sure 3 points, it's 6 the other direction.
And if you're kicking in the NFL, that should be pretty much automatic, but I don't think that's on him at all. The protection broke down. That led to the block.
And the Bucs are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go two, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
The Jaguars back with it on offense. Last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
And the Buccaneers are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. So a big play there. Not only the fumble return for the touchdown, then they get the 2-point try. And, you know, for the defense, though, they were just over there sitting on the field. They had to rush out to try to defend that.
You know, it's funny. They actually practice situations that they call sudden change when the team turns it over. I'll guarantee you no one practices a fumble return for a touchdown like that, and now someone goes for 2. Really good strategy by them putting them in that situation.
On 1st and 10, Lawrence out to the flat for Hyde. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be a 2nd down. From the gun, Lawrence.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Carlton Davis picks it. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. To throw again on 2nd down, Brady.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Cameron Brate from 17 yards out. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
On that 3rd down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a 1st down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the first down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
So they go with a pass there on the two-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their two-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have two-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
3rd and 2, now Lawrence. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. So possession goes over here on the punt. Back now comes Tampa Bay. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown. Tyler Johnson, 72 yards. And this Buccaneer offense is running away with this one. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. Incomplete. He was trying to find his tight end, Dan Arnold, and that'll bring up second down.
He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. And, boy, things switched on a dime here. The fumble recovery for the touchdown and also a two-point try on top successful.
That feels like a momentum call. Pick it up on a fumble return, take it the other way for a touchdown. That's demoralizing for a team to have it happen against them. So the offense just says, you know something? Let's add to it. Pile on top, go for two now while their heads are down.
The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like a Jaguar was able to cover this thing, and so Jacksonville will keep control.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Throwing on second and long. Lawrence. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Now Lawrence on third and long.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget. Absolutely.
5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
So another score there. And often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they're looking strong here in the fourth quarter.
Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Here comes the defensive unit for the Buccaneers as they get set here. Forced the fumble last time, up on the scoreboard, things going their way.
Things are rocking easy now, and they feel good about themselves, confident, taking the ball away in the last possession. They're going to try and do it again.
So let me ask you, can you be playing free and that can be good, or it can also become bad, right?
I like the way you put it. You're exactly right. It can work both ways. Sometimes you get too loose and give up big plays and not handle your responsibilities. But oftentimes when you're playing free and easy and locked in, as they are today, you see the end result.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And this is incomplete, but a flag back at the line of scrimmage. And this could be a first down. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Lawrence.
Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Here's Lawrence to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like in the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. And this one to Treadwell, complete. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. But to throw again is Lawrence. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Now this is fielded in the end zone. And he's going to be tackled inside his 10-yard line. May hear a few words from his head coach on that decision.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't he?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there.
And got his man complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. William Golston able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Lawrence. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
You definitely would like to have hit on that one, because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.